Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 indoor records that I think could be under threat in coming months. I am recording this on February 9th of 2025. Millrose Games was yesterday. USA Indoors is coming up, and I will be there. I will be going out to Staten Island to watch USA Indoors both days, and I'm so excited. I'm excited to hopefully film a vlog and some other great stuff. But also just to be there and to be able to experience it because it's so fun. And then European Indoors, World Indoors, all the national competitions, everything is coming. Indoor season is heating up. And with that, it's time to talk about world records and which ones I think could fall. So we're going to talk about 10 that I think are under threat, 5 men's, 5 women's. Some of these are kind of obvious, some of these are less obvious. I tried to do a good mix of both. Some of these are not officially recognized by World Athletics. I will note the ones that aren't, but I tried not to do ones that were super uncommonly raced, with a few exceptions, because I'm going to lobby for them to still be broken even though they're not commonly raced, because someone needs to break these goddamn records. Some of these are like crazy slow. Well, slow. I couldn't run them, but I feel like a lot of high caliber athletes could. So let's get started with the men's. And number 1 is the least exciting one, and we all know what it's going to be, the pole vault with Monzo Duplantis. His indoor record is 6.22 meters, and he's going to break that. He'll break every record forever. So yeah, I don't really need to say much about that. Monzo Duplantis, he's going to break that record again. Number 2 is the 60 meter. And the 60 meter world record is 6.34 seconds. And it was broken in 2018 by Christian Coleman. So kind of a recent record. And we have the amount of people who have gotten like decently close, like inching into that kind of territory. I feel like it just, especially with the 60 meter, I feel like it just takes one really well executed race and that world record's yours. Like, I feel like I'm not gonna say, oh, this person is probably gonna break it, because honestly, I think there's 10 or 12 guys who could break this record if they have like a perfect dream race. It's just who's gonna have that type of race first. I think that really, in a lot of events like that, is what it comes down to. It comes down to who's gonna have this perfect, amazing race, because I feel like whoever does that, they could genuinely have a very good chance of getting this record. The third record is the 600 meter, and this is a non-World Athletics Association record, so they don't ratify these records, but they are still publicly available online, and lots of people still do count them. It is still a world record, so I count them too. And the 600 meter world record is 113.77 by Donovan Brazier. I feel like I have seen so many 600 meter races that look like they're unfolding to get to this time, to get this world record. He said this in 2019. I honestly don't even know how this hasn't been broken yet, to be completely honest, because there's so many races that through 400, even 450 meters, look like they're right on pace, and I know that final part is the hard part, but I feel like it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. And this is run at a lot of the more sought after championships. I think it was run at Millrose yesterday, actually, because Quincy Wilson ran it. I think he got 4th. But yeah, I feel like this record, it could fall. Like, I'm talking any day now. If there's if there's a pretty competitive field of 600 meter runners, I feel like this record is for sure gonna be under threat. The 4th one is the 3200 meter, which is another non-World Athletics ratified record, but like I said, we're still counting it. And this record is 8 minutes and 800.6 7. And it's from Josh Kerr in 2024. So this is a super recent record. So close to under 8 minutes. I really thought he got it when I was watching that. He didn't, but I feel like sooner or later, it's one of those barriers. Time barriers, I feel like, gets fire in everyone's pants to go break that record. Because not only are you now a world record holder, but you're now the first person in history to take this event under 8 minutes. And even if it's not the most commonly raced event, like the 3200 is not the most commonly raced event, that is still super impressive. And I also feel like, especially for American track and field runners, especially American men's track and field endurance runners, I just want to see one of them do it for the vibes and the nostalgia, because most of them grew up running 3200s. I'm a high school runner. I run the 3000 because I'm a woman and my uterus would fall out if I ran 3200, obviously. But so many of these men grew up running 3200, so I feel like it would be cool just to see them like go back to like kind of their roots per se. And I know if they did, this record is toast. And it's not a super commonly raced distance, but it's not uncommon. They ran it at the Melrose Games last year. I want to say with this where that world record is from, or maybe it was an attempt. Either way, but it's not super uncommon. A lot of pro invitationals will offer it. I don't know. I feel like there's a good shot if it is offered that it could be under threat. And finally is I wrote the 300 meter. It's not. It's the 3000 meter. I'm like, why do I say Grant Fisher holds the 300 meter record? What is happening? I'm going to change that in my notes because that's going to bother me. The 3000 meter world record, which was just broken at Melrose last night when I'm recording this, 7:22.91 by Grant Fisher, which is 0.9 9/10, that's 9/10 of a second under the previous world record, which did not stand for a super short amount of time. Like, it stood for like at least 4 or 5 years, I want to say. So that kind of improvement is crazy work. Like, that is mind-boggling. Also, I just want you to think for a minute, because the 3200 world record is 8:00.67. The 3000 meter is 7:22.91. So that's a 200 meter difference. So that's just further proof that that 3200 record is definitely breakable. But this 3000 world record, Grant Fisher and Cole Hawker, they were both under the previous world record, I do believe. Fisher obviously won and he got it. But I think that that's proof that if you have a super, super elite field, a bunch of people could hang with this pace and could potentially go under that world record again. Not saying that I want Grant Fisher's record to be taken away anytime soon, because I do love him, but I do think that this record could be threatened in like a competitive race, especially with the likes of Fisher, Hawker, maybe Kerr, Ingebrigtsen. Like, if we have them in a 3K field, it's going down, honey. Anyways, so that is the 5 for men, which is pole vault, 60 meter, 600 meter, 3200 meter, and 3000. It's kind of weird how those numbers line up. But anyways, let's get over to 5 on the women's side. Also, I do want to acknowledge, there's not very many field events on this list. That's because I don't know shit about field events. I like to watch them. I was a pole vaulter back in my day. But I don't really know a lot about them, so I don't comment on them too much. There's a couple on this list, not too many, just because I feel very uneducated whenever I talk about them, because I don't know what I'm talking about, especially throwing events. If you're watching this, Haley, I love you. I don't know what the fuck you're doing when you yeet that thing around in the circle. I don't know, okay? I don't know what's happening. I just kind of watch and I'm like, yay! I don't know what's going on. So anyways, let's get on to these 5 women's records. The first one is a less commonly raced distance, but this actually, I believe, is a World Athletics Association, like, ratified record, which is so weird, like, what they choose to, like, ratify and not ratify. It's just weird. It's strange. Also, when I was going through this list, did you know the Armory hosts an indoor marathon every year on their 200-meter track, I would die, bro. I would literally die. I would die dead. I just, I love endurance running. I'm training for a backyard ultra. This is a Spartan shirt that I'm wearing from, I believe this was a Spartan half marathon that took me like 6 hours. So I am no stranger to endurance running. However, my hips, my knees, my legs, they would fall off, okay? I cannot run more than like a 3,000 on the track without switching directions because my hips will hurt. I don't know how y'all are alive. Are they offering you free hip replacement surgeries if you run this? Like, that just blew my mind. Anyways, the 1,000 meter world record is 2 minutes 30 seconds, .94, and it was set by Mary Molota. These women's names, some of them are hard. I'm sorry if I butcher them. A lot of them I have heard before, and I know how to pronounce it in my brain. It just doesn't come out of my mouth right because I'm a dumb American, so I'm so sorry. Like, I want to pronounce them correctly. I just don't even know where to start. I think I need brain surgery to be able to pronounce them. So, Mary Moltoa in 1999, which is an older record. That's an older record, but we have the likes of 800-meter legend Keely Hodgkinson, Georgia Bell just, I'm not gonna say dominated, but she did extremely well in the Wanamaker Mile. I want to say, yes, Wanamaker Mile. I don't know why I'm questioning myself. We have the likes of those amazing British runners. We have the likes of Nikki Hiltz. Okay, I will cut that part out. I'm not gonna stop and re-record this again because I've already recorded it like 3 times because I go on random tangents. And here I am going on another random tangent. Up. Anyways, I feel like we could assemble an elite field, some elite Americans, some elite Brits. I'd love to see Jess Hall in there. And I feel like this record could be smashed to absolute pieces. I'm pretty sure Jess Hall has the 2,000 world record actually too. So that's kind of fun. And number 2, the second women's record on the chopping block, is Devin Charlton's 2024 60-meter hurdle time of 7.65. And I just feel like I've seen so many people get close, and also I feel like she will be the one to re-break her own record. However, like, I think Masai Russell could do it. I don't know about this season. She looks really, really, really good. I don't know if she looks 7.64 good. But you never quite know. Until they get into like the heat of the season. But I think Devin Charlton could potentially be an absolute force and completely obliterate that record. And by obliterate, because the 16-year obliterate would be like 0.002 of a second. But still, it could potentially, I think, especially if those two go head to head, like, I feel like that is a recipe for world records. And the next one is another 600. The 600 records, they're just on the chopping block tonight, baby. But this is another, again, 600, not world athletics ratified or associated, but it still is, I still count it because it's a 1 minute 23 second .41 by Keely Hodgkinson in 2023. And I think once again, get some 400-meter legends, some 1,500-meter legends, some 800-meter legends. Get them all to mix up in there. You will have a record. Like, in my head, I'm imagining, I want Femke Bol. I want Louise Marival. I want, definitely Keely Hodgkinson, Georgia Bell. That's who I want. Like, and I feel like that record could happen. Also, I know Louise Marival seems like a random choice. I love her. Okay, literally, my iPad background is literally them. I love her. She's literally like, I relate to her more than I feel like I don't know. I don't know, but I love her, so I always mention her whenever we're talking about 400. But yeah, I feel like that record could be gone with the wind. And okay, I didn't know if I wanted to put this one on here because they never race it, but I think they should, because it's the SMR with a time of 3 minutes 45 seconds, 0.9, USA, 1993. That was a long time ago. You want to feel old? My mother was still in high school in 1993, so I was not around yet. But this record, that could go down easily. I'm not really gonna get more into it, but you know, just get a couple Olympic gold medalists, you know, casually just assemble them, make them run, and just absolutely knock it out of the park, demolish it. And finally is the only field event on the women's list, number 5, the triple jump, which is 15.74 by, oh god, Yulimar Rojas in 2022. Once again, I'm so sorry, I probably butchered that. I really do mean nothing but respect. I really am just stupid, so I'm sorry. But this record, not only was it a recent record, I feel like women's long jump and triple jump are in like, I feel like distance and then long and triple jump are kind of in their like almost heyday right now. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel it inside me at that World Indoor Championships. It's kind of more of a wide open field with this one as well, where I kind of think there's maybe like 3 or 4 people who could potentially do it. But I feel like at World Indoors, like someone is just going to come out of left field and be like, world record. Because I feel like triple jump is also one of those events where, it's kind of like the 60 meter that I talked about earlier. It only takes one good jump. It only takes one good start, good on the board, and good like acceleration. And by that I don't mean I could do it, but like for a professional athlete, you know, if you jump it 300 times, maybe you get it. So anyways, that is my list of 10 records that I think are under threat this indoor season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!
Risk here with Hawker to the lead, and
there's no way Hawker gives it in. There's no way.
This is incredible.
I don't know what I'll do if Hawker gives it in, because Hawker's not giving this in.
Grant Fisher goes to the outside. That might be what Cole Hawker needs to get the kick out of his zone. And now Fisher gonna go up high.
Yeah, there's no way he gives this up. There's no way. Holy shit, there's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking, there's no, oh. Oh. What the fuck?
We talked about an American record, the world record.
Oh my god!
That is how you get it.
How the hell?
Each other.